Now, people will have heard of the gut microbiome. We've known about it for hundreds of years, and basically all of us have trillions of bugs living in our gut, and they do some essential functions. And in the last sort of 15, 20 years, we've become more and more aware and interested in what's known as the brain-gut axis. So this link between our gut and how our brain functions. And that goes both ways. The brain communicates with the gut and vice versa. It happens through direct nerve pathways, but also through the release of chemicals called neurotransmitters. So these chemicals that can be manufactured in the gut, travel in the bloodstream, cross the blood-brain barrier, and then have an effect on our brain to do things like regulate our mood and other functions. And so there's this strong link between the brain and the gut that goes both ways. And to optimize that link, our overall health, both physical, there's some great studies looking at optimizing gut microbiome and how that relates to our physical health, but equally our mental health through that gut-brain axis and some of those mood-regulating neurotransmitters. To optimize that, we need to have an optimized gut microbiome. And if we're constantly eating particularly high carbohydrate foods, things like alcohol have a disastrous effect on our gut microbiome. That one makes sense when you look at, we all use alcohol rub, particularly in the COVID days, to clean our hands. We know that alcohol kills bacteria. We know there's a stack of good bacteria living in our gut, so it makes sense that if we're pouring alcohol into our gut, it's going to kill off those good bacteria in our gut. But we also know that when we eat regularly, it stimulates our gut, it keeps our gut working. Some certain foods, high carbohydrate diets, can be quite inflammatory to the gut lining. They can affect the balance of the gut microbiome. All these trillions of little bugs that live in our gut need to be in a healthy balance. You can't have certain ones overgrown and other ones undergrown. If they get out of balance, we can have these gut microbiome problems that can then affect the lining of our gut. People might have heard of the term leaky gut. And what that refers to is when the gut lining starts to fail as a protective barrier and starts to let bad things from the gut into the bloodstream, which can kick off inflammatory processes around your body. And what we know is that when you fast, that gives your gut the chance to have a rest. It gives your whole digestive tract a chance to have the rest. It's great for things like your insulin system, which is linked to diseases such as diabetes. If we overuse that and we thrash that to death, we can start to go down a diabetic pathway. But when we rest our gut, everything gets a rest, and this gut microbiome gets a chance to just rebalance itself and optimize itself, which has these huge positive flow-on effects to our physical and mental health. So aside from the benefits of weight regulation or losing weight, which is why people often look towards intermittent fasting, there's these other hidden benefits. So it's a really, really powerful strategy to optimize ourselves both physically and mentally.